Alright guys, Dokkan have just dropped a ton of EZA details for upcoming EZAs for the Xenoverse collaboration units. So we're going to dive straight in, beginning with Tech Toa. She will start with 200% attack and defense, all allies key +3, then per extreme class ally on the team, 80% attack and defense when attacking, up to 400%. All allies attack and defense up to 50%. So that gives her some nice strong support. Decent amount of stats, to be fair. Then when there are 3 or more crossover or demonic power category allies on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, you will gain 200% attack and defense, chance to evade by 70%, launch an additional attack there's a 70% chance to become a super attack. Then when all allies attacking in the same turn or crossover category characters, she will have 15% damage reduction. I mean, she's pretty much a standard support, you know, good support in general. It's nice that it's all allies rather than specifically crossover demonic power and things like that. She actually has a solid amount of stats. And then she's got the dodge and the 15% damage reduction, which is probably to deal with normals post super, because she's definitely going to be a slot 3 unit. I think overall nothing like special, nothing flashy, but she's a very, very solid support. Then on super attack, she's great at raising defense by 50% for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy, lowers attack, great lowers defense, and also seals when and where you can do so. Then we have the Fizz Mirror. Fizz Mirror. This is the one that transforms, right? He will start with key +3, attack and defense +250. 1 time will get 250 attack and defense, 70% chance to dodge, and 25% damage reduction, all on his first appearance. Then when attacking with 12 or more key, he gains 250 attack and defense. Then when there are 3 or more crossover or androids category allies on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, 250 attack and defense, 70% chance to crit, and a 50% chance of an additional super attack. So in base, I mean, he's looking... Actually, he's great for base. Because I forgot his transformation conditions. When there is an ally whose name includes Toa attacking in the same turn, which you also have the Tech EZA and the new Toa Mirror, starting from the 3rd turn from the character's entry, or starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. If you do have a Toa on the team, literally his next appearance, he will transform, or absorbs Toa and Toki's egg. So you'll literally, if you do have Toa on a team, have Mirror out for literally 1 turn, where you have 70% chance to dodge with 25% damage reduction as well, and a solid amount of stats. So do you know what? I actually quite like that. Hopefully when he transforms, he gets really beefed up, because these EZAs, they need to be good, you know? It's to help out the LR Super Saiyan God Ultra Super Villain Vegeta's team, which needed a lot of help. I said Dokkan needed to drop a bag of EZAs for this. They've done exactly that, which is great. They just need to actually be good and runnable to go with the Vegeta, to go with the Toa Mirror, and also the Xeno Trunks. So it looks like he does... Okay, stacks. So he stacks by 50% on attack and stacks by either 20 or 30% on defense, which is quite nice. I'm hoping that should go into when he transforms, because, well, again, if you have a Toa, you literally see base Mirror for all of 1 turn. So when he transforms into his final form, which is basically Super Saiyan 4 Mirror, he'll have a key +3 in attack and defense of 300%, 25% damage reduction, a 70% chance of an additional super, 80% attack and defense, and a chance to dodge by 20% for the character and allies whose name includes Toa. That's not bad. But then it doesn't say same turn. It just says for characters whose name includes Toa, and you can have at least 2. So that's at least 40% dodge on Mirror, along with 25% damage reduction. Then when attacking with 12 or more key, 250 attack, and then 100% attack 1 time for 4 turns. Then when receiving an attack with 12 or more key, 250 defense, and then 100% defense, and damage reduction rate of 15% for 6 turns. So that will take him up to, what, a total of 40% damage reduction, 40% max chance to dodge with Toa units. Then when there are 3 or more crossover or androids category allies on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, 300% attack and defense, and a 70% chance to crit. Then when all allies attacking in the same turn are crossover category characters, 15% damage reduction for 6 turns. So that includes Vegeta, Xeno Trunks, Toa Mirror especially, the EZA Toa again especially, the other EZAs we've got in the rest of this video. So I mean, you're looking at a total of 55% damage reduction, 40% max chance to dodge, along with a solid amount of stats, along with the fact he stacks. So if you're in a little bit of a longer fight, Festival of Battles maybe, this mirror is actually pretty strong. Of course, naturally shorter fights he's not going to perform as well, but I think overall he's solid. But of course, longer fights is where he's really going to excel. On super attack, he does keep the stacking the exact same, except he'll greatly lower attack and defense and raise extreme class allies attack by 10% for 1 turn, self excluded. So that means the Vegeta can benefit from that. Him and Mira can benefit from it on the dual unit. The EZA Tech Toa can benefit from it. The Demigra can benefit from it. So overall, a solid EZA. I think if obviously you're going to take him into a fight that's probably like 8 turns and below, maybe not. We would have to see how he performs. Then speaking of Demigra, we do have the Int Demigra. I think he transforms as well, right? He starts with Key +2, 250 attack and defense, chance to crit and damage reduction rate of 20%, launches an additional attack, there's a 70% chance to become a super attack, and also has a 50% chance to stun the attacked enemy, of course, if and when you can do it. Then when attacking, he will gain 250 attack and defense when there are 3 or more crossover or Realm of Gods category allies on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, 300% attack and defense, chance to crit and chance to dodge by 40%, which is nice that he actually gets even more crit chance. Not even more crit chance. Yes, he does get even more crit chance. So that's what, like a total of 60, which is solid. Then he's also got the extra dodge chance, which is also great, along to go with his damage reduction. But I actually quite like the conditions, because you've got the crossover units, which again, you've got all the units I've literally stated before. Then also Realm of Gods. So again, Vegeta also leads Realm of Gods. So you've got Carnival LL Fizz UI. You've got like Super EZA SSB. You've got the Strength Blue Boys from GDC. I like this. I like this. It seems quite laxed. Then as the second attacker on the turn, he'll get 40% chance to dodge 1 time and interrupt the attacked enemy. So that's 80% chance to dodge in slot 2. Then as the third attacker on the turn, chance to evade enemy's attack and damage reduction rate of 30%. So once you do this 1 time, you then probably shimmy him into slot 3. I mean, he'll still have like 70% dodge, which is great. And also a total of 50% damage reduction. And this is all before he's actually transformed. Then when HP is 60% or more, 266% attack and a chance to evade enemy's attack by 6%. Wish it was 60. 6%, which I mean, again, you're looking at a total of what, 86% chance to dodge and then 76% chance to dodge. It's not a lot, but the more the better. Then, of course, when HP is 60% or less, or when the character is the third attacker in the turn at the start of turn and all allies attacking in the same turn or crossover or Realm of Gods category characters start from the third turn from the character's entry, he will turn into giant form. So, I mean, if you want to force it, you can put him in slot 3, and then you have the full rotation of crossover or Realm of Gods category units. Or if you kind of want to hold on to it, which wouldn't be too bad of an idea, depending on what fight you're in, then you're going to have to drop below 60% HP. So far, I really like Demigra. I think so far he's definitely the best. And again, he has a giant form to his name as well. On super attack, he's greatly raising attack and defense by 50% for 1 turn. Also has a 50% chance to stun on super attack effect, which again, when and where you can do it. And then when you go into your giant form, he'll have Key +3, 666% attack. Attacks are guaranteed to hit, and when the enemy's HP is 60% or more, another 666% attack and a chance to crit by 66%. We kind of get the theme going on there. And on super attack, he'll massively raise attack temporarily, cause destructive damage with a medium chance of stunning, again, if and when you can do so. Then we have the Fizz Xeno Trunks, my memory serving me well today. And he will start with Key +4, 250 attack and defense, 15% damage reduction, crossover or Defenders of Justice category allies, 30% defense for 2 turns. So, you know, with the Trunks on the team, you've got even more support going if you decide to run the Tech EZA Toa. You will then have even more support on the team, which is juicing up everybody, including my boy Jeets. Then when HP is 80% or less, or when facing 2 or more enemies who will have guaranteed crit, then attacking with 12 or more key, 250 attack and defense, and 15% damage reduction. As the second or third attacker on a turn as well, that's another 250 attack and defense, and 20% damage reduction. That means in slot 2 and slot 3, he's going to have a total of 50% damage reduction, which is solid. It's solid. It's not amazing, but it's solid. Then, if you specifically have him in slot 3, he will launch an additional attack. There's a 70% chance to become a super attack. Then, when 3 or more crossover or Defenders of Justice category allies are on the team, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are superclass characters, which I mean, if you're going to be running all these other EZAs, including Jeets as a lead, you're more than likely going to have this triggering it rather than the superclass characters. He will gain 250 attack and defense again, so that's a lot of stats for this Xeno Trunks. With a 50% chance to crit, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to Fizz key spheres, strength and Fizz excluded, so this won't affect Jeets, and foresees enemy super attack within the turn, within the character's attacking turn, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. And this is permanent. As long as you have this is permanent from turn 4. So not only is he solid support and a solid amount of damage reduction to deal with like normals and maybe some supers, so you definitely want to go full dodge in this guy. He also has a scouter, which is great for a team. I always stand by this, probably one of the best team abilities you can have. Then on the super, will greatly raise attack by 50% and raise defense by either 20 or 30% for 1 turn, and cause supreme damage to all enemies. I always forget he has an AoE. And raise all allies' attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. That also includes himself, by the way, so even better, but again, even more support going through this lead that Vegeta does run, and any other team who decide to bring the Xeno Trunks on. So I really do like that Trunks a lot, a good amount of support as well. Then we have the AGL Super Saiyan Xeno Trunks. I remember this guy. I remember back in the day, like we're talking 2017 times, when I had my full mono AGL team and I was waiting for a Super Vegito, and I had SSBK. This was one of the AGL units I had in my team for the longest of times. So just for the culture, Dokkan, I beg you make this guy sick. Just for old time's sake. So he starts with Key +2, 250 attack and defense, a 25% chance to dodge, crossover or mission execution category allies, 30% attack for 2 turns. I see what Dokkan's doing here. You run both of them. This one will give the attack on 1 turn or same rotation. The other one gives defense, but it lasts for 2 turns, so everyone will be benefiting from it. Then when attacking with 12 or more key, 250 attack and defense, and if HP is 80% or less when facing 2 or more enemies, will gain another 150 attack. Then as the 2nd or 3rd attacker on the turn, 250 attack and defense with a 20% chance to dodge. Then as the 3rd attacker on the turn, launch an additional attack, there's a 70% chance to become a super attack. So at the moment, we're only looking at 45% chance to dodge. Then when receiving a normal, 60% damage reduction temporarily. That is probably to help him deal with normal, so he'll probably be fine with the majority of normals in the game. Then when receiving a super attack, he will have a 30% chance to dodge temporarily. And again, that's probably to help him out with super attack specifically. So that will take him up, as long as you have him in slot 2 or slot 3, that will take him up to a total of 75% chance to dodge, which is pretty solid if I do say so myself. Then when 3 or more crossover or mission execution category allies are on the team, or when all allies are attacking in the same turn are superclass characters, another 250 attack and defense and a 70% chance to crit, and will interrupt the attacked enemy, which is also a useful ability to have, to be fair. I quite like how you can combine both Trunkses together to have like the full support, and it does last for 2 turns, so you don't have to have them on the same rotation. I mean, a dodge unit like this is always quite handy to have, but of course, if they don't decide to dodge, you do run the risk of him getting absolutely clattered, probably by any super attack in the game, or the majority of super attacks in the game, if you don't get it. So, of course, that is always the warning. They are always, as they say on the tin, type units, but overall, again, looks solid, just like the other Trunks, but goes more dodge than damage reduction. And then will cause supreme damage to the enemy and raise attack for 7 turns. So that's going to be like 20-30% then, I'm guessing. And raise all allies' attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. So again, a lot of support is really running through this team, which I'm a big fan of. Overall, I would say solid dodge or die unit. Solid, a lot of damage reduction, great support, especially between the two when you are running the two. Demigra, I think so far probably looks the best, just because he has a lot going for him. This Mira is, again, another one that's solid, but again, if it's short content, probably going to be found out quite easily. If it's a bit longer, you can kind of get the stacks going, but still quite solid. And then Toa, she's okay. She's okay overall. But this is exactly what I was hoping for. Dokkan dropped a bag of EZAs. Sure, it's not the Heroes units. I wonder if they'll ever actually get EZA'd now that Heroes is done. But at least we've got a bag of crossover units that have been EZA'd, specifically the Xeno ones, that can actually kind of beef up the LR Super Saiyan God Ultra Super Villain Vegeta's team. So I'm completely here for it. Definitely can't wait to try them out, even though I don't have Vegeta to run them on. So we'll see how they'll do nonetheless. But you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments of all these EZAs. Which one is your favorite? Which one are you most excited to use? I will see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and post.